Hi there, my name is Nikolas Kuryla, and I'm a senior integrated multimedia major at HPU and the creator of The Dark Side of Aloha. So the main focus of my capstone project was to document the series of serial killings that happened in the mid-1980s in Honolulu, as well as to touch upon some of the darker things that happen in Hawaii that most people who don't live here don't see. The main reason I was interested in doing this as my capstone project was due to my somewhat fascination with true crime. I've listened to, I think, every single true crime podcast or documentary that's out there. And I've always kind of wondered what goes into making something like that. So I decided to give it a shot. Also on top of that, I have heard about the Honolulu Strangler murders from before I moved onto the island. And also I wanted to kind of give a perspective to those people who don't live here, that, you know, Hawaii isn't just all paradise. It's the real world just like everywhere else. One big hurdle that I didn't realize how big it actually was going to be until I actually started delving into it was the research for the project. So as I said before, I've listened to plenty of true crime podcasts. I now know how much research goes into all that. From right off the bat, I knew I was going to have issues finding good sources just due to the time era and everything like that. Also, I was talking to my mentor, and he said specifically around the mid-80s it's very difficult to find news footage from them. So I kind of took that as a challenge to do my best to find. So that was about a month and a half to 2 months of emailing every single news station locally, as well as I have a few friends who work for CBS News, reaching out to them, seeing if they could look through their archives to see if they had anything. And also reaching out to, I believe, the 3 different archive organizations on island. Specifically, Bishop Museum was a huge help in getting the footage that I did obtain of not only the crime scenes or interviews with the detectives at the time, but also actual footage of the bodies being discovered, which I don't know where I would have gotten it if it wasn't for them. So huge help with them. On top of that, the very first thing I did do when I was looking for my resources was I actually went to UH and got access to their microfiche newspaper archives and spent about 3 hours going through, pretty much looking at a screen and having to manually adjust little tiny film in order to see the specific articles I was looking for. So that took a while. Luckily I had all my dates right, but it was definitely a long process of going through day by day, week by week, year by year, trying to find the right articles. And then one of the biggest and honestly most humbling experiences I had was being able to interview a former HPD detective and get her perspective on the case, as well as hearing a bit about her career as being an officer and then later on a detective. It was very interesting. You know, you always see that on the news or in movies, but actually being able to talk to a former detective face to face and just hear their stories was awesome. Another big thing I really wanted to do with my capstone project was I wanted it to look professional. So I put my best foot forward with that. Hopefully you think so as well. On top of that, I also wanted to have an aesthetic of somewhat being a bit grimy or a little bit mysterious, kind of like the old school Unsolved Mysteries. So wanted to put that into effect, as you can see, kind of with like the title for the poster and everything like that. But yeah, I'm very proud of this project, and I hope you guys enjoy the research I did. And if you could, it'd be really great if you look at the description. I will have a link to the documentary. Thank you very much for viewing my capstone project. Mahalo.
Hawaii, the place everyone thinks of when they hear the word paradise. From its beautiful beaches to its friendly locals. The Aloha way of life is a dream people from all over the world come to experience. What most people don't know is there is a darkness that lies beneath paradise.
The two men wanted in connection with the murder of a 73-year-old man in his East Oahu home.
Again, unfortunately, with 3 violent crimes that happened in the past 24 hours.
It's been exactly 1 week since the latest victim disappeared from this busy intersection.
Police say there is linkage that ties at least 4 of the 5 cases together.
You may have nothing to lose once having killed a victim to kill subsequent victims.